And welcome back. We're picking up where we left off last time in Shadow Empire. We ended off the last stream at the end of round 50. Victory overview-wise, we're currently in 5th, although we stand pretty good standing to very rapidly sort of rocket up to 2nd or 3rd by integrating our subject here, who has like 100,000 population. So that's one way we're going to sort of swing forward. We're also working our way down. We got a territory here, apparently. A territory of something here. And then an online territory down here. So we can expand down that way. We know one major's here, one major's here. These guys have come across on sea lanes. So we know they're actually not really there. So this is one of them over here, and then the other one is mainly down here, I think. So if we did end up in a fight with them, which we probably would like to avoid, but if we do end up in a fight with them, we're not necessarily going to be taking a lot for them. I think these overseas sort of colony situations are not super valuable for us to take over. Construction-wise, we are in the process of building the High Command up to another tier to get a little bit more bureaucracy. That'll also complete this objective, which we'll complete in time, so that is good. Tech-wise, we want to expand the bureaucracy, and then we probably want well, we're getting the power plant, so we'll get the power plant and probably use the power plant early on for power. Solar is probably long-term. If we got the rare metals, is probably cheaper, although we haven't found a rare metal mine. So power plant may be the way we end up going, because we may be stuck with limitations on our metal. With the power plant done, in the military, probably focusing mostly on picking the last 2 military techs up here. We'll get what we need to get into chemistry and engineering for discovery. Let's check up on orgs before we cycle this turn. Model design's working the APC. Military, looks like it's just finished the pattern virus suit, so it's probably actually on something else. Probably assigned it to something else. I don't know offhand which we assigned it to. You can probably check the end of the last video if you're watching on YouTube. And then power plant, we're 94% in. I would like to have this done. We're still having it discovery focused because we'd really like to find sealed roads. Probably barracks as well, but discovery-wise, we're really looking for sealed roads. So sealed roads plus power plant, that's kind of the 2 we need out of basic tech really early on. Solar's probably better if we had like infinite rare earth. Well, we don't have a rare earth mine. We've got a metal mine. That we can expand once, because it's a level 2 metal mine. So we're a little low on resources, which is fair. We do have the ability to do some more scavenging, but that is depletable resources that will disappear pretty quickly once we settle down to mine it. Okay, so with that sort of update, let's go ahead and cycle the turn. The turns on this map are reasonably quick, so we should be getting back to actually doing something. And we are watching the end turn. We do have some non-aligned hostiles nearby that may take actions. And one of the majors is hostile, so they haven't declared on us, but they could declare on us. So the expectation is that we have nothing to worry about, but that might be a wrong assumption, and we may have something to actually worry about. The other one's blackmailing, and should be able to keep the blackmailing one happy. Although the hostile one is militaristic, so they're more likely to get happier. If their factions change, their factions are more likely to change to one that likes us better. I think we have the least happy of the militarist factions right now. The militarist faction. The theocratic one's actually the opposite. It's on the friendliest of factions, and that's blackmailing. So the theocratic one in the long term is going to be the one we're going to be a little bit more worried about. In the short term, it's the other way around. Which, yeah, is maybe a little unusual, but we work with unusual sometimes. Okay, background to us, there was no fighting over the end turn. It's now round 51. We have 6 decisions. We're also in a crisis of violence, which is not great. Successful delivery on demand, so we completed that delivery. New director for the Interior Council. Right now, our councilors are terrible. I think we're mainly looking at it from an admin standpoint, right? So all these guys are like Camp 2, so we're probably just looking at like int mostly. Into 35, into 28, into 23. This one's coming up as like the highest suitability because they have the high spade skill. But it's the wrong skill, and they're going to mainly level the main skill, so yeah, this guy's probably the guy we're going with. Interior Council, for the moment, I don't care about tariffs, so we're going to put the tariffs real low. Not going to put it at 0, but we're going to put it real low. And we'll kind of balance human resources, interior policy, and taxation. And once we get the taxation sorted, we'll probably dumpster that as well and mainly focus on interior policies and human resources for this department. You're offering to buy IEP. I think I was trying to do enforcement. So there's an argument here. I just say no. We'll come back to that. This is a situation. We'll improve a relationship to take the hit on the commerce, because I think we were mostly trying to go enforcement. Yeah. And apparently Heart's higher than Fist right now, so we've actually pulled National Pride, which isn't too bad, but kind of the way we want to go. We really want to get up this line. Offer to buy slaves. Okay, so that works us. That tells us what the territory is. The territory is slavers. We'd get 2,100 slaves for, they're saying a reasonable price, and I'm not actually going to say they're wrong with that. Return the private best and the veteran sergeant there, and then yeah, here, because we've got slavers, let's say yes to that. So we'll take that little bit of money, and we'll actually go and hand that over to the slavers. Not because I want to be friendly with the slavers, because I actually kind of want the people. Yeah, it's the best way to describe that. I kind of want the people. We will liberate the people from the slavers using the power of money. Okay, so next turn we should be ready to get rid of the Free Folk Marauders there. We do know there's a squid there. It's a little bit of a good thing that they've moved away from the area. You know, militancy is actually increasing due to high loyalty. That's nice to see. Okay, I don't know if either of these guys are amphibious, so if we can get the last coastal tile and then sort of crush them into the border, that would be best. See, no major fighting over there. Leave you sort of as reserve there, that seems fine. Yeah, I suppose I could probably free up. So we can free up the U. We could probably free up the Galactic Republic units from garrison duty here, but we'll keep them garrison duty. At most, I might move them to the capital, and we'll make them the garrison to the capital. We might technically have guys come up and take our marsh here, but it's marsh. I'm not too worried about it. And then I can remind myself, working high-speed machine gun, that makes sense. The other one to work on would have been the high-velocity gun. Yeah, finish the power plant, finish high-speed, and then we'll have the 4 that we need to go into the next 2. Probably military will continue working in high-velocity, because we're going to want that for anti-tank guns. And then military get shoved back onto Discovery, probably looking for RPG, although we'll very happily take combat armor or charge Gauss. Or not charge Gauss, Gauss. Gauss small arms. And then Eco, probably after we get power plant and sealed roads, is really going to be looking to get the 4s in engineering and chemistry. We don't really know where our metal is going to come from, so we're very interested in metal cell filtration. We don't know where our petrol is going to come from, so we're interested in synthetic fuel or deep core mining. This might be a planet where we can actually run atmospheric fuel. That's water atmospheric recomposition. Okay, so we can get water from the atmosphere, apparently. Is that methane synthesis I'm thinking of? Maybe. Might be viable on this planet, I'm not sure. It's not viable on all the planets. And it's based on, if we go to planetology, biosphere, maybe viable because of the ammonia. 0.05, what does it say for the methane synthesis? Okay, no, so water atmosphere we'll probably be able to do. I'm thinking no on the methane. 250 parts per million on the methane. Yeah, I don't think we have enough methane. Not enough methane. That's fine. We'll be able to do water on methane. And that means we'll have enough water. In theory, we'll probably end up doing the biofuel refining, using the water to make food, use the food to make biofuel. So yeah, we're definitely looking for more of the metal cell filtration. Okay. And then industry-wise, let's build more ammo. So our troops don't run out of ammo.
Aye, aye, sir.
I think we have enough power. That might be an assumption. That may not be true. Yeah, I think I have enough power to power everything. I don't have enough power to go everything to level 2. So that might be where we're stopping construction for the moment, while we're waiting for power plants. Prospecting-wise, nothing to prospect, although we do have... Oh, we have an oil deposit. Ah, yes, that was one of the things I was thinking of. What's down here? At the units, we'll be able to see. Yes, there's the oil deposit. And in fact, the civilians aren't waiting for the place to get cleared. They're just like, nah, you want that oil. And have already started building the oil. They're not wrong. I kind of do want that oil, but it was more aggressive than I was hoping, civilians. But yeah. Okay, and card-wise. Oh, I do have trade. So, no to trade with them. Need at least 40 opinion. No with that. Okay. And we don't have the ability to do bribery yet. Okay. We're not ready for the unification. Let's embed some spies in the slavers, so I get an idea of the slaver territory's shape. Prospecting, nothing to prospect. Okay. Okay, yeah, we need to expand the bureaucracy. We need to expand the bureaucracy to meet the needs of my bureaucracy. Oh, I could have dumped the colonists in the colony, which is what I should have done, but we'll do that next turn. Raining 1,000 colonists a turn, apparently, so that's good. Get the colony growing pretty quickly. And we've already got a place where I want to put the next colony. We want to put the next colony over by that petrol, the oil well. So once we clear out the locals around that area, we'll probably make that into a colony. Well, actually, it'll be a little bit farther out, because I'm going to get the first one at least to level 2, if not level 3. Probably level 3. That's 50,000. We're getting 1,000 a turn, so it's only 50 turns, but we're only coming up turn 52 anyway, so that's still quite a while. And then, yeah, we'll probably turn that into an oil well to not have Administrators try and run away from us too quickly. We were attacked, we held, no losses. We were attacked, they took losses. We killed 100 infantry over the end turn, no losses for us. We have 6 decisions winning us on round 52. Still in that crisis of violence. Heavy wheeler. I don't remember what we were developing there, but we finished it. Oh, that was the APCs. The APC is done. Maritime trading houses are fighting. That's usually something to just ignore. We do want Fist, so we can boost the opinion of the leader. And... oh no, this is punish the leader. I just want Fist badly enough that we're just going to punish the leader.
Yes, sir.
Faction candidate, sure.
Yes, sir. Roger that, sir.
New demand. You want 95,17. 95... 17. So he wants to get down there in 8 turns. At our current walking rate, that's probably beyond our capacity. An immediate word, profile, and faction penalty. Okay, so if we're going to take the word penalty either way, we'll say we'll try. And we may succeed. So Rangers out of mess because we want enforcement. You got U1 research, yes, that's fine for the moment. And I think we hit no new orders here. I think we've got basically what we want on all our models right now. So infantry is in the carbine, machine gun. We're working on the advanced machine gun. I technically could upgrade the infantry. Actually, no, we should upgrade the infantry because we got padded. They got padded and assault rifle. So infantry, select carbine to automatic rifle, envirosuit to ped envirosuit. Yeah, we got a request to basically get all the way down here. This is slaver territory, so we'll have to hopefully have decent reconnaissance to do that. Okay, crush the pocket of the professional troops.
Going in. Mission successful.
Pocket destroyed. Oh, apparently I'm short some. Okay. Okay. Over here, we don't get the luck of being able to drive them right inland. Catch them circled up in the corner there, but... okay, so we're probably not attacking them this turn. We'll see if they leave that hex. If they leave that hex, we'll occupy it, obviously, and then we'll attack them in the last one. If they don't leave that hex over the end turn, we're going to attack them using the mass of our soldiers here to crush that hex and drive them into the inland one. Or if they can go into the water, they'll get driven into the water doing that. And then I do, before I forget, we dump the colonists in the colony.
Affirmative.
At least want to get to level 2, if not level 3. Dome farmers expanding is nice. Okay. None of the cards we really want at the moment, that's fine. So we're just going to hold on to the blue power because we don't have what we want to spend it on. And we haven't discovered sealed yet. What's the power balance that I've got? I'm making 58 in, 74 out. So we're negative 16 there. And then, oh no, that's in, oh, 30, 74. So we're negative 44 there. And then we're positive 80 here. So we're about positive 36. Okay. So I probably could upgrade the bureaucracy. Could upgrade the bureaucratic office. Squeeze out just that little bit more bureaucracy, which I will do.
Yes, sir.
The rest will have to wait until we get a power plant. But with the oil well going and the fact that we're researching oil power plant, I don't foresee the power being the issue. Although I could definitely do with more reconnaissance. There's lots of things we can make use of. And that's sort of the usual stuff early game in this game is there's always more things you could be doing if you had infinite everything. We could be making more fuel if we had power and food. Making food if we had more power. Although with the civilians building more farms, we probably don't need more food. They'll probably, if we give them the space, they'll probably make all the food we need. It tends to be my experience. Usually just a sort of small amount of government-made food and then it'll be fine. And we do have a farm. I forget if it's level 1 or level 2. Might only be level 1. Okay, back around to us. We had no fighting with the intern. We got 5 decisions awaiting us on round 53. Okay, we got a gift card, which is we can use to raise opinion with a faction. So if we wanted them to like us more, we could do that. Okay, so they did back up into that hex. Now this is a situation where I can, in fact, overstack. This would be overstacking. There's too many attacking for a given amount of front line, so we need to start pulling units out. We're obviously going to pull the militia out. And focus primarily on sending in the professional troops. Although I do still want to be pretty close to the stack limit, which is basically there. We're 99 out of 100. Carry out the attack.
See you on the other side. Okie dokie.
There we go. And that is clear. So with that, we're going to take the risk of rolling unification on you.
Sir, yes, sir.
And when we failed. So it was 2d100 plus 19, so technically go up to 219. We were rolling a d100 plus 108. So if they rolled the 219 and we rolled the 208, yeah, we'd lose that. We're basically going to try to roll that like every turn. We have a unification until we succeed. Give you the funding, make the militia happier. You want help. We're trying to do democracy, although suppressing merit with democracy is not too bad. But no, we don't really want the commerce. I say no. Actually, I could use the money. We'll take the money here for the first one. Less sure with the second one. I think I'm going to say no to the second one. You want to sell us machinery? We
Sir,
want the
yes,
machinery. And then you're going to say no to the second one here because we do need money for other things. But I can't give all the industry away. Here we got the gift 400. We could technically be, say, trying to give these guys money. We'd probably succeed on that roll, which would make them like us more. But unless that's going to make them more likely to accept trade. Oh, effectively, we need a 40 opinion with them to get for trade off. So that might be the thing we try to do, is get them to 40 and then try to do trade with them. I actually don't see where their port is. They may have landed and actually been cut off. There might not be anyone in this pocket anymore. I would not be surprised if there wasn't anyone in that pocket anymore. Anyway, we're probably going to have an easier time running down the non-line force territory than pushing into the slavers. We do have an objective to claim that hex. That probably will involve actually fighting the slavers. We shall see. We'll bring the motorizer along because it's going to be useful for this. And then we'll start moving these guys back to the road, pulling them out. And we got colonists. Colonists go here.
Affirmative.
And then we haven't discovered the sealed road yet. No. Okay, cycling the turn. And we haven't seen any indications that we have any coastal wildlife around here. We know there's that one over there, which is why we basically have this coastal garrison here, is we know there is one over there. We haven't seen it over here. I'm going to not panic for the moment and just pull the guys out to do other expansionary work. Anyway, we do have that demand to get down here specifically. So we're going to see if we can complete that. The answer, maybe no. It was a little tight. It was like 8 turns to do that distance. But we'll try. Okay, so the slavers just cut us off. That's not ideal. Around 54, we have 4 decisions awaiting us. Income tax, we're going to want to roll that. Another auction, which I'm probably going to ignore unless we got a lot of money sitting around. Got to be a pretty cheap auction. I know they want mind or government, so we'll combine the 2 speeches. I would... Oh, though this is... Oh, this is a commander, so I can piss the commander off and get Fist. We'll do that. Incident with discipline. So actually, we want Fist. We'll take the unrest to get the Fist. Stock auction. I could do the minimum bid. I might do the minimum bid. What's the price on rare earth metals. Yeah, we'll do the
Aye,
minimum
aye,
bid.
sir.
I'm only going to do the minimum bid.
Yes.
And then on you guys, we try unification.
Sir, yes, sir.
And they did, in fact, accept the unification. So we're probably going to leave most of these militia here, the large swaths of militia, to do sort of Coast Guard garrisoning over here. Whereas the professional troops, I think I'm going to try to pull out. Yep. We'll give them a turn before we start interacting with them. Just because some of these guys may be ready to go, some of these guys may not. We're mostly just going to push them along the coastline here. I think we want to extend this road out and down into this peninsula. Although we'll have a better understanding of that next turn. Okay, I'm mostly pushing the HQ here, well, first of all, we're not actually at war with these guys yet. We're trying to sort of bypass them without having to fight them, because I don't have the horses down here to attrit the slavers down yet. Yeah, I don't have the horses down here to attrit the slavers down yet. We may, in fact, this is something we will do. I think we need some specialist troops here to deal with these slavers. And I have the logistics down here, so we're going to have to march them in from a little farther back, probably. What we need is we're going to need some of these RPG troops to deal with the vehicles. What's the problem with the RPG production? Logistics. Just logistics. So we've already run through so many of the action points at that point. Okay. Let's put it on the HQ then. And I can strategically move it the rest of the way. Okay, so that is going to be... That's telling us we have a problem in the near future. Let's try to solve that with
Yes,
improving
sir.
the truck station.
Roger that, sir.
That'll basically triple the supplies going down this road.
Affirmative.
Bureaucratic office is complete. That's good. So now we're really just waiting on power plant. Really, to continue to expand, I need the power plant. We're doing like 1% because we're mostly focusing on discovery. And no luck at discovering sealed roads yet. No. We'll go one more turn. Yeah, we'll go one more turn. We're about to get a bureaucratic boost in BP. Cards. Don't think we got any up here that's particularly useful. We did pull a income tax. So let's roll the income tax.
Roger that.
That succeeds. That raises income tax, so we now have an income tax. Previously, for the treasury cash flow, we did not have an income tax. So previous turn, we had an income tax of 0. It's now 10%. So we obviously had no revenue last turn because there's no income tax from that. But that'll boost up quite a bit. We'll see if that's making a big difference. We do have quite a bit of expenses. From various places. Mostly going to workers and troops and stuff. Okay. cycle the turn. You may splurge and try to go up to like 20% income taxes if the cards come up for it. But the first 10% is really the big one. Going from 0 to 10 is infinite improvement on the income taxes. Going much higher than 10, or going much higher than 20 often sometimes leads to unrest problems. Although if you're trying to boost democracy, that can actually be useful, because you basically take the money you're collecting in taxes and turn around and hand it back to your civilians. But it can get a little annoying. So if you're recognizing that's what's going on, which is the tax protest event, then you can always just reduce the taxes later. And it's usually easier to reduce taxes than raise taxes. So, although you have to have the reduced tax card, which is why we haven't turned around and turned them into taxation cards, because yes, we got the one card we really want. But at some point we're going to want the ability to turn the taxes down, even if we don't want to do that right now. Okay, back around to us, it's round 55, we got 8 decisions. One of which is what to do with that dome breach. We've discovered barracks. Okay, so at this point we're really just looking for sealed roads. Galactic jetpacks. Galactic Republic Velociraptors. Nice. Some Galactic Republic Raid machine guns. Galactic Republic Romuluses. The game has just decided I need armored vehicles. But the game has just decided. And the Shadow Sect. We were not the highest bid. The highest bid outbid us by like 2.5 times. Okay. We got the industry. I do probably need to run roads out to these places if we want to hold on to them in the long run. So, dirt road. I don't need to run it all the way down to the coast. Probably 2 out in the marshes will be fine. 120 industry, that's not too bad. $160 is not too bad. We're actively building something that needs 100 a turn, so let's try to leave like 150 a turn available. How far can I get down here? Yeah, so we could happily get the road all the way down here. Right down the middle, sort of like that. There we go. So if that works out, these guys will have supplies, and I won't have to worry too much about them coming in. And then we want to spread the militia out on the coast. And make it easier to keep the militia and the irregular army units separate. I'm gonna try to keep the regular army units on the road and the militia off road. Yeah, we might have to pick a fight with the slavers if we're going to get through. We're definitely not getting there before that demand time's out. He demands, you want to erect a statue. We like fist, we don't like government, so...
Affirmative.
No. Appoint an advisor. The advisor positions right now don't really matter, so I can shove nobody in it, so... Person who doesn't like us, why don't you like us? Because we haven't been doing enough... Well, we've been doing anti-government, anti-merit, pro-fist. So we might be able to keep you on side because you've got one plus, a couple negatives. But you'll probably get pissed off.
Yes, sir.
We'll make you an advisor, so we don't feel too bad if we gotta get rid of you. I want both fist and enforcement is the problem with this decision. Maybe don't need fist too badly. Like, we don't need the combo bonus right now, or Glorious War. Whereas bonus taxes is nice. Okay, let's go enforcement. I sold myself enforcement.
I'm on it.
Minor worker strike. Give them
Affirmative.
some money, get some democracy. Don't breach, yeah. Do whatever you can to mitigate it. It is a success, so it was mitigated to the best of their ability. Maritime Trading House. They want to establish contact. We do want to establish contact.
Affirmative.
So we'll contact them. We'll take the zone level upgrade of the new
Understood.
city. Zone orders. Pay the workers some money. Do recruit sign-up bonus. Do colonist sign-up bonus. Feel free, once the culture converts enough, to give us troops and colonists.
Understood.
Here we go. And then we have colonists that need to go in the colony. Colonize the colony.
Affirmative.
And then the bazooka guy. You need to go marching down, because I think if we do end up fighting these guys, we're going to want the bazookas to deal with the tanks. Although, our own tanks will do great work with that situation as well. You know, I feel like we got enough money. Are we actually making money turn over turn now that we got taxes? So we made 121 on revenue last turn. And that didn't quite balance the budget. Although, that brought the budget a lot closer to balanced, so that's not too bad. Because the thought process is I could potentially try to gift these guys money. You know what, we'll give that.
Sir, yes, sir.
Because if we get them over 40, we can see if we can get trade with them. Nah, I didn't get them over 40. Bit of a shame. We tried. Wasn't enough by itself. And the nation, let's see what type the Shadow Sect is as far as profiles.
Yes.
Cults and sects, we are neutral on all of them. The Shadow Sect, a messianic cult that prepares its followers for the coming of the Shadow Lord. They provide cultural adjustment bonus, but are known to cause unrest. They are fanatical about exterminating the anima followers. Currently don't have any anima followers, so don't have to worry about intersect murder at this point. They're only providing cultural adjustment bonus, so that's... Take that or leave that. We don't necessarily need that, I think. So unless they're sort of agreeing with profiles, we'll probably remove them. And their priest is avoids retreats, which I could definitely make do without. Okay. Let's cycle the turn. Yeah, we're running a little bit of a power problem. That's an acceptable burn rate right now. It's basically 50% increase in bureaucracy because of the new bureaucratic facility. Okay. Yeah, I do want to discover sealed roads, but I think we need to spool up research a little bit, because we need that power plant now. Call you up. This is...
Yes.
priorities that we care about. What's the state of the prospect? Oh, no, we just got a new zone, so we might need to prospect the new zone. Although, we're getting told there's nothing to prospect in the new zone. That may be true. Okay. I think archaeology is under prospecting as well, so we'll leave prospecting as is. We're going to sweep a little bit closer to parity, I think. Yeah, we'll do that balance.
Yes.
A lot more in research. We're just basically tripling the research rate, but turning the discovery down. We got like one thing to discover, so shouldn't hopefully be too bad. And let's cycle the turn. We finished what we were constructing, so most of the stuff should turn positive again. Okay, that was the end turn. We're on round 56. We got 4 decisions awaiting us. Shadow Sect. So they're Autocracy and Fist. So that's going to be the complication here. I do want Fist, so making these guys happy gives us more Fist. We don't necessarily want the Autocracy, although I can... Democracy suppresses Autocracy reasonably well, so... and it's our fallback when something goes wrong, so... You know, I will go ahead, we'll improve policy in favor of the cult. Hopefully that does not result in us having problems down the line. And then I think that's a reasonable balance. Once we get the Interior Council really going well, we might raise it down some more, but confirm that. City expands, that's fine. Slave raiding in process. Across the border and are commencing raiding for slaves. The way to truly stop this raid is to send the military and declare war on them. However, getting the military into action will take time. Everyone is opposed. Everyone supports declaring war. So we're going to war. So we lost 3,300 population. Fist goes up and war be declared. Oh, reconnaissance failure there.
We need more firepower, sir.
Bring the RPG. That's a pretty bulky militia unit, so we'll bring that guy along. You're not bulky, so we want you getting down to the coastline. Actually, we know we're hostile with these guys. Let's bring the bulky ones along, the big, large ones. We can keep the smaller ones here for Coast Guard duties. Okay, these guys are just slow enough. I gotta slow walk them across the road either way. Again, we'll take the big one. Okay, so it was a good plan to put a bit of a Coast Guard here. We can see we got a Zappos here, which is a 4-meter-long herbivore that would take our coastline happily if we left it in the garrison. So we need to leave a garrison here. The garrison doesn't necessarily need to be too offensive capable, which is why we're going to leave the militia to do it. But going to bring the quality units over to here to deal with the slavers we just declared war on. I think our guys should be able to handle themselves defensively, at least until the second batch arrives. Did get another gift. Could potentially give it to you. We're going to hold off. I want a little bit of money kicking around for emergencies. So if I was desperate, both to raise the opinion of the sect and... Okay. If I wanted to raise the opinion of the sect and or rapidly generate enforcement, we could just be constantly calling the Shadow Sect up to get enforcement off of them. We got 73, which is actually pretty good. Profile-wise. So your 70s... I suppose you're not unable to build marks because we need to get... Oh, no, that's Fist. 73, 80... That's logistics, and then 90 is recruitment bonus. Probably mostly interested in that tax bonus, so if we can get the tax bonus, that'd be nice. Logistics is not terrible either. But yeah, if we were really worried about more enforcement, we could be spamming that out a bit. We're gonna hold off. Prospecting push is an option. Otherwise, yeah, that's all the cards for the moment. And the prospecting overview implies there isn't anything. I suppose this is the first time we're looking at the victory overview. We did throw ourselves up into third, so we moved from 5th to 3rd. And we're not very far behind 2nd. In fact, we have more population than 2nd. We're mainly being held up on planet. Go ahead and put colonists in here. Oh, we're having logistical issues. Okay. That's one thing. The truck station just did finish, so that will help the logistical issues. That's probably why I did not get the full 1,000 colonists this turn. Yeah, there's 200 to ship, 200 to not ship. Fair enough. And then eventually we'll start getting some from over here as well. So yeah, we need that truck station to... Well, that truck station expanded. We'll see if that fixes the problem. That may fix the problem, because the bottleneck was all around the HQ. It may not as well. We may need more additional levels. We are going to need sealed roads soon, which is kind of the pain with having not discovered it yet. And then we went one turn with the situation swapped. So we actually, yeah, tripling the research definitely helped with getting the research done quicker. We made 10% progress last turn instead of like 3 that we were doing previously. So 2 more turns, we should have the power plant done. That's going to allow us to build power plants, which is going to allow us to do more things with power, which is going to let us to get more bureaucracy and get more research. Okay, let's cycle the turn. Now, we are at war with them, so they may start attacking us. I think most of our forward units here should be... Well, 4 should be reasonably enough entrenched that the slavers aren't going to just start tearing them to bits. May want to hold... Well, we got armored vehicles coming up. We at least want to hold off until the armored vehicles come up. We may not really start taking heavy swings until we can get the Tier 3 weapons design. Round 57, we have 7 decisions awaiting us. The old majority won the election. The violence is continuing. It should disappear next 1 turn of effect. So it's either next turn or the turn after it will disappear. High-speed machine guns are done. Okay, so that's 1 decision. Power plant's done. That's the other decision. Got another archaeological effort that we can play. You want merit to be raised? No.
Yes, sir. Roger that, sir.
I'm really tempted to go staff council here. I don't think we have the bureaucracy right now. We're going to hold
Yes,
off.
sir.
I got the political power. I don't get the bureaucracy. Design model.
Order
Confirm.
received.
Favorite design over discovery.
Yes,
High velocity guns. Okay. We just finished a power plant. I'm actually going to go ammunition factory. You're offering to buy IP. I actually kind of... Although that's a lot of money. I'll take that money.
Understood.
Apparently I can be bribed. Bids.
Yes.
Well, we'll do the minimum bid. We're doing no more than minimum bid. And we'll get the guys moving to the front, moving down. Okay, down here we're going to worry less about necessarily having the entire coastline guarded. Focus a little bit more on just sort of securing this road. At least for the first pass, I'm getting guys down here. Although, maybe I actually just have enough to secure the whole coastline. Because I'm looking at how many I got to spread out, I'm like, oh, that's more than I was expecting. Which is, in this case, because this is holding territory, is a good thing. Okay, so I've got about 6 more to spread out from there. So yeah, we're not going to be able to hold the whole peninsula, but we can hold the 2 perks and the population center pretty easily. And basically hold the road, and then if they come take the little bits at the end, that's fine. I can definitely accept that, that's fine. And then, in theory, I had enough if I left all the militia there, but I think we want the militia just for bulking up and doing sort of eyes and ears reconnaissance on the locals down here.
Firepower, sir.
And we got the replacements ready to go out. They just haven't been shipped because we don't have the road capacity to ship them. Yeah, we don't have the road capacity to ship them. Okay. That tells me I need to build a lot. Which maybe spending all the IP was the wrong thing to do if I need to build a lot. So, power-wise, I need the power plant. We are making enough, plus... Okay, we might be a little bit short, so we might actually be... We're not short enough to build the power plants. We can build the power plants, but not a problem. Problem is, I'm not sure we're going to be able to combo that with the truck station without any delays, but I think we want both. So the power plant and the truck station. When the power plant's done, we can go a lot more aggressive with power expansion, because that'll be 500 more power. Right now we're getting 130, so that's four times additional power, basically. It's a little bit less than that, but actually, it might be 4 times additional after we count for the fact the governor here might like us. I say, as the governor here does not like us at all. They're okay. They could like us better. I'm at the point where I can start bronze retiring people. So we've got people that are just absolutely terrible in the pool. We can get rid of them. So reserve pool, we got a 2, a 2. We got 2s in the reserve pool. Okay. The secretary is a 1. Although it's the secretary, so we don't care about the secretary. Director of the Economic Council is also the other person that's really terrible. Okay, so the Director of the Economic Council might be someone on the chopping board for replacement. Although you need admin, trade, science, prospecting, inventor. Right now we don't have anyone that obviously is a good replacement, right? So... yeah, so I suppose the reserve pool is probably the worst ones we've got right now. That we can happily sack. Let's grab 2 juniors.
Roger that.
Then we got Cap 2s across the board. Okay. And the juniors, so they shouldn't really have any interesting skills. Okay, so you, strat card, maybe about enter retirement.
Roger that.
There we go. So we're going to slowly try to improve our leadership pool now that we have HR cards, or getting an income of HR cards, let's say. Archaeological effort. We're going to do the new zone.
Yes.
We didn't hit anything, so we don't know if there's anything in the new zone. So there's nothing in the, well, there's nothing in the old HQ area. The old HQ area is now expanded to cover more stuff, so there might be stuff in it now. But, yeah, I think we successfully failed rolling the main zone, which is to say we rolled a success but didn't get anything. Not sure if we've done it there, although there's 2 hexes it could be on. Here we're looking a little bit better, although that's still only like 1 hex. So the probability of actually finding stuff in the ruins here is pretty low. It's not 0, but it's low. I need new bullets, and this might actually be what eats all the bullets, all the ammo. Or, yeah, okay, don't have the industry for this turn. We can do it next turn. Food's going down. Okay, that's a concern. Let me guess. I only had a level 1. Oh, I have a level 2 farm. We probably have enough food. Am I still suffering a little bit from the shipping? Yeah, we're suffering from the shipping. I need to let the bottleneck get away, get cleared out. Yeah, we have a bottleneck problem. That's what the problem is. which is weirdly probably making the problem worse. The problem's going to get worse before it gets better. Let's cycle the turn. We're going to put the part break in. If you're watching on YouTube, we will have another part up for you tomorrow. I'm going to try to record 4 parts tonight. So this is the first of 4 parts. We're going to put the end turn, or we're going to put the part break in when we get around to the end of the end turn here, as we usually do in Shadow Empire runs. If you're watching on Twitch, feel free to hang around. We will continue playing this, but we will take a short break so I can get up, stretch the legs, and try to do that like once an hour. We're at an hour and 5 minutes, so it gives me an opportunity to sip some tea, stretch the legs, and then we'll be back to playing. And yeah, so right now for a combat enemy, we've got the slavers. We're going to be attacking the slavers. We got 1 brigade down there and a bunch of militia. We got the 2nd Brigade rolling up the recon and the anti-tank, and a couple Galactic Republic armored vehicles. We'll probably start trying to do some offensive motions once those armored vehicles arrive. Them come out of the Panzer Scare, I think is what it's called for our bazookas, should allow us to break into their lines. Maybe we can get some encirclements to actually get forces to disappear. But yeah, so we will be back with the next part. If you're watching YouTube, that'll be tomorrow. If you're watching on Twitch, it'll be after like a couple-minute break. We'll be picking up in around 58. So until the next part, wish you all the best of luck and a good time. Catch you all in the next part, and bye for now.